That was Blackberry Blossom.
That sounded great.
Yeah, women in purses. My mother carried everything in her purses, diapers, bottles, her false teeth. She never wore her teeth, but she had them in her purse. We used to wear them all the time, her teeth. It was really something to wear her teeth. Stick them in her mouth and walk around with them. So put them teeth back in that purse of mine now. I made one my daddy bought them for her. I think she ordered them or something. I don't know. They didn't fit her very good, probably.
there I go. Yeah. What I do? Jim, Dr. I, look at you. And come in with your ass, buddy. Come on now with your ass. Come on now with your ass. You. 2D, double D. And T. Wheel across the water. And an H. H. Yeah!
Run, can't hit mama. Run so low to learn me. Run, can't hit mama. So low to learn me. Yeah, can't run to take it, can't Crying mama, you know Katie killed me.
Now I'll tell you how long I've been painting. 89 years. I've been painting 89 years, and I've been painting longer than that. I done it myself. I done my own self. Just out learning to make buildings like that, tell you that. I learned to paint this. I've been that yesterday morning, look at that. That's an old building. I made them. I make my weed and grass, paint. That's church. There's another church. When I want to bring you show you, I want to show you how to get color out of that weed though on television. This is a weed. Who saw this? Who saw this, son?
If we are created in the image of God, then we are also creators. I'm just going to paint and see what happens.
I'll show you. Actually, this one was done right here. It didn't need anything, but I'm just, you know, kind of like, that's what I want to do. I could do more, so, you know, so. But I do have a little, this thing about red, as you noticed. Yeah. I definitely know that his face is a little bit too dark. But see, I mean, I just chose red. I mean, because I use red in everything. It's not because I think it's supposed to have red. It just came out that way. You know, you kind of see now, it's not like I'm using the colors because I'm trying to get my point across with the color. I'm just using the color, you know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I like red, you know. You know, I was just telling them about myself, my life, and then, how I used to drink a lot and all that stuff, man, you know what I'm saying? And they turned it into it, you know what I'm saying? And I hate doing stuff like that, man. I even hate putting titles on painting people. They just make me, you know what I'm saying? Well, you must call it something, okay. And like I said, it was just early, man, when I was a kid, you know what I'm saying? I knew something about, art, you know what I mean? But I didn't take it serious, I was like, I just wanted to do it, you know what I'm saying? I knew that I could draw people the way they look, you know what I'm saying? Exactly what they look. You know how old folks say, well, I draw my picture, son. I'll do that again. And that's Smoke's tea. And that's Bernice Sims. And these are paintings I do today. And a lot of people ask me then, about 10 years ago, actually, I was about 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? Was I outsider artist then, at that time? Man, I actually heard a couple, man, yelling and screaming about just that simple word, and I just couldn't understand. I was like, what in the world are they arguing about? You know what I'm saying? They argued and they screamed about being an outsider artist, about being and I took the guy's side, that said I'm an outsider, you know what I'm saying? Because I could see where he was coming from, man, you know what I'm saying? It was, he was defending himself. He was defending who he was. This way God made me, that's what he was defending. And it was a classically trained person who was debating with him, you know what I'm saying? They was like, man, I put precious hours into my paintings, and that kind of debate, and but I could see where the guy was coming from, man, you know what I'm saying? And I kind of respected that, man. I was like, man, he right, man, you know what I'm saying? He don't belong with your group, you know what I'm saying? So he definitely outside somewhere, you know what I mean?
I don't know, sometimes you can, the work you be done, you can see the movement in your mind, eyes, mind. Have me sometimes, folks say you have crazy talking. I could just close my eyes and see the movement of my figures or what I'm gonna put on. And you might call that crazy, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, would you call it crazy?
It's okay to be different, It's okay to be outside the box. My family's always used the word flamboyant, eccentric, different. I mean, I see things differently than other people. And I was explaining it to Marsha one day, and she said, oh, Susie, that's normal. Artists go through. I said, really?
I was just weird. I was just a straight up freak. And then being in small town Alabama, looking like I did, and listening to music that I did, people went one way or the other. I think I was like the first Asian person to stay in Tallahassee longer than 3 or 4 months. Yeah, people would would say something that was just blatantly racist, but it wasn't that bad, No, this one's no. By early, I just mean before I started doing dirt stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was last year. Mm-hmm. This painting was done. I just swiped this big piece of wood from the library, and I had to carry it 5 miles back to where, and I was putting it on my head and walking down the highway with a huge piece of wood on my head, and people just kept staring and screaming at me. So I knew that I had to keep. I mean, you can't just drop the wood now. I've already carried it half the distance. I got to keep going. People that are just kind of trapped in this little box that said mental illness, and they just accepted it. Hey, I'm mentally ill. I'm just screwed for life, and it just takes something to get them out of that frame of mind. For me, it was painting. You can't sit and watch TV and eat all these pills and expect to feel any better. You need something to do.
Have you seen that vigilante man? Have you seen that vigilante man? Have you seen that vigilante man? I've been hearing his name all over the land.
Putting a hang on.
Well, what is a vigilante man? Tell me what is a vigilante
To hang it up with.
man? Has he got
This would hold a picture.
club in his hand?
I put some dirt in a bucket and put it in there and dry. And they asked me, they said, how you know? I said, I done checked it. It's real. I'm hanging, how you doing? Yeah, I'm hanging.
Mind if I take a look around?
Yep, you'll see.
Alright.
Anytime you want.
Okay.
Anytime you want. Amen. Still praying.
Have you seen that vigilante?
Go look on that big old picture on the top. When I went to the White House, they went Nancy Reagan and them married. And that picture here, I was about 50 years old then. When I went to see the president, I seen more people than I ever seen. A whole lot, all over the world. I made a million pictures. A million. A million.
Stormy days, we'd pass the time away.
When I started painting, the first week, it felt like I'd been reborn. My life was just, especially because I started making, people started buying my paintings the first week. And I thought I died and went to heaven, you know. I just thought this is something, you know.
It gets back to talking about Mose Tolliver and Jimmy Lee Sudduth and all the people that have come to their house, and they still keep that beautiful humbleness about them, which is so Christ-like, you know, to me.
15 kids dancing in the moonlight, Louisiana, Saturday night. Get on your fiddle and you get on your bow, kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning light, Louisiana, Saturday night. My mama died, there was like 100,000 angels around her, and all of her people was there that loved her, and she flew off to heaven. She didn't even, with no doubt in her mind, when she died, she just flew off to heaven. Mama did. Not next week, she just took off right then.
What's called preparing to carry them home. You know, God sent His army ahead of time, His troops. He knew that there was going to be battle. And His troops were flying all around before it started, getting ready. That's what I'm trying to say. No, they ain't butterflies, they're angels. I can't draw.
Like my friend Jimmy Lee, he thinks there's beauty in clay and dirt. He sees all kind of stuff in it.
He just, that's hard, that. Yeah. And sweet mud, it's sweet. It's already sweet. That mud is sweet and good. 36 different colors. More. And it could be more. 36 different colors. Go out there and get a color out yonder, on yonder, and go everywhere you get. Put molasses in it, you put honey in it, and put sugar in it. I ain't got no sugar here now, but I got 6 blue ribbons for painting that. 6 blue ribbons. Yeah!
Eat it with this civil rights and stuff. And I got where I put a lot of it on canvas, like the bridges, the marches, and sit-ins and stuff like that. And it does cleanse you. Get that out of you if you got something. You know, the things that you can see in your mind, you can't express them to people or your feelings, you can put it on canvas. Working in voters registration, that was my main goal in teaching people how to register to vote. That was back there in the early 60s, you know, I think what, 64, 65, back in there when we couldn't vote, you know. Or someone that must have vouched for you, you understand? A person well known in the community or a white person. You had to have one of those even to vote, register to vote. I said if it was any way I could help change this, I would. So this is the famous Admiral Pettis Bridge. King and all of them was marching from, I think they was going to Montgomery this time, or 7 from Montgomery, either way. Back then in the 60s, in civil rights movement. And the record started on the Admiral Pettis Bridge. So this is the famous Admiral Pettis Bridge. But I went there, and of course I put this down here. This is to let you know that everybody's mind wasn't on this, you know. Like that. So I just won't pay any attention. I'm going fishing. Get this off my mind now.
And this is just company coming over on wash day, which is Monday. And electricity, so Mama would boil the clothes to boil the dirt out of them. And that just boiled, that's a big old smut pot. And then in the wintertime they would kill hogs and they dip the hogs in the same big pot. And kids are always hanging on to their mama when they're small. She couldn't ever do anything unless the kids were there. And this dog's got some little puppies. And this girl here, that's her doll. But it's a big doll, but that's her doll hanging down there. And this is just company coming over on wash day, which is Monday.
And you used to walk the streets and people come by and spit on you. And you couldn't do nothing about it, because if you fought back, you know where you were going if you weren't taken out and beaten to death, you know. And so you had to swallow all of that. But now, no more, you know. I have no animosity, no hatred, nothing in my heart. I can't sleep at night. If I did, the time it's gonna come a time that all that's gonna be of the past. And may not be in my lifetime, but I hope it's in yours. You see. Great grandmother, she was a slave. She could talk about it. And it would make you, a lot of times, make you angry to sit and listen to that until you learn that there wasn't anything you can do about it, you know, way of life. White people come up and say, I just know how you felt when they can't possibly know the first of it. To be denied a fresh drink of water out of or going into a restroom, or being spit on, cursed, called names, you know, that hurts. Deep hurt. It causing a lot of hatred. And you can't live with hatred. It kills you and it hurts the person you hate.
Darling, good morning. I said, blues, how do you do?
My pain don't stay on long.
Darling, good morning.
The doubt,
I said, blues, how do you do?
I don't be playing when I be playing.
No matter where this morning, can't get it.
I went back out there and got some more. I wouldn't sell them every day, but they'll come get them every week.
When you want to write yourself,
No, I got a hurry. Yeah. A case of marbles felt it. It didn't feel all the way on. Thing weighed over 1,000 pounds. The whole case fell on. Sure did. I think weighed over 1,000 pounds.
Most black people back at that time thought art and stuff was a waste of time, you see. And you couldn't study anything like that much unless you had something. We was so poor, we didn't have anything. The clerk in the store and things like that. And the paint that she would leave she'd leave a little bit in a tube and give it to me. And I'd go home and paint on cardboards and brown paper bags and stuff like that, you know. Black people just now gotten where they appreciate art because they didn't know anything about it much. We was always taught that this was a waste of time because it wasn't a paying job or anything, you know. And they are getting back into it, and it's beautiful. This is, I was around the kids in the bed, sisters in the bed sleeping, and they can't stand to touch each other. All right, they're fussing and going on. And I think about when my grandkids come here and great-grands come, they couldn't stand one to touch them. And I got two here now, and they don't want to sleep together. They can't. But maybe it's just the love of what I'm doing, or it's part of me that make me feel like that. I just sitting up and say, well, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna do you this way, and I'm gonna fix you this way, and go on. And be laughing. My daughter used to tell me, says, I just hope they don't talk back to you. I've never had a lot of money or nothing like that, because I like it and need it, but it has not been just everything. It just doesn't mean everything. This is an old-fashioned tent revival. When I was growing up, maybe once or twice a year, black or white, guy come in, put their tent up, and have a week-long revival, and everybody would go, and that gave us somewhere to go. We looked forward to it because the youngsters growing up where I was, we didn't have anywhere to go but to church and the town on a Saturday afternoon, and so this was entertainment plus religious service too. You're not born a racist. You're not born with hatred. All those traits you pick up are taught.
Yeah.
And it takes a good-hearted person to not fight. And you can't live with hatred. It kills you and it hurts the person you hate.
We are made just like God. Says, let us make man in our own image. Let's make man just like we are. So God took the dust of the earth and made us men. Blowed breath in us and become a living soul.
That's one of the good ones there. Sitting on a log, a single shot rifle and a one-eyed dog. 15 kids dancing in the moonlight, Louisiana Saturday night. Get on your fiddle and you get on your bow, kick off your shoes and you throw them on the floor. Dance in the kitchen till the morning.